Hey Lily, how's it going? Uncle Adam here, and today we are going to learn how to draw Totoro, right? That's my version of Totoro, at least. But this is a tutorial on how to draw Totoro, and if you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know. Maybe your mom can help, maybe Xavier can help a little bit too. But if you want to learn how to draw any more of your favorite anime characters or anything else, maybe I can make some more tutorials for you in the future if you like this one. So have fun with it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Love you guys very much. Hope to see you soon. Your dad's going to be back really soon as well, so love him very much. Let's pray for him, and can't wait to see you guys. Okay, Lily, here we go. We're going to get started. And I think the best way to start drawing Totoro is to draw some basic shapes, right? Because most things are made from basic shapes to begin with. So try and keep that in mind when you're drawing anything at all. So we're going to start here with a big circle because his stomach and his tummy is a humongous circle. And his head is pretty much an oval. And his ears are also very small ovals. And again, you can pause this video whenever you want if we're moving too fast. That's the beauty of making videos, right? And obviously his feet are similar and they're kind of oval shaped as well. So once you got that done, we can move on to the next step. And the next step is to just erase the lines that we don't need anymore, right? So these are just like kind of guidelines that you were making with your shapes there. So just erase these shapes and these lines that we don't need. The ones in the feet, the ones in the head, the ones in the ears. And once we're done erasing all the lines that we don't need, we're going to do the mouth next, right? So in order to make the mouth, what I did is I just made two dots, one on one side of the mouth, one on the other, and then we can just connect the lines however we like, or sorry, connect the dots however we'd like, right? And, you know, his mouth can be wide or open if you want. I just tried to make it as accurate as I could to one of the photos that I found online of Totoro, but this is a fun little drawing to do. I really like this character. I think he's a good character to learn how to draw as well. And just like you, Lily, when I was your age, and I mean, sometimes still, I would just copy my favorite cartoon characters in comic books. I actually would love to copy Calvin and Hobbes. And unfortunately, sometimes I got in trouble for doodling in school, but it paid off in the end. And of course, you got to follow your passions. And I'm really glad you're into art, just like I am. And making videos like this for you is super fun. So if you want me to help you draw any other of your favorite characters, just let me know. So as you can see, the nose is pretty easy there. I know you won't have any trouble with that. It's pretty much just like an upside down triangle. And again, for the eyes, I'm just making the dots, and the dots indicate the width of the eyeball, right? So you'll see how I just kind of connect the dots here to get the correct size of the eye, right? And you can just make a circle if you like, if you're confident with it. I'm just trying to make it as easy as I can for you here. These are some of the ways I was taught how to draw when I was in school and stuff from my art teachers. And I had some really, really good teachers growing up. So I'm very lucky about that. I'm sure you got some great teachers too. So here we go. So the ears. So this is kind of fun. Instead of having just, you know, ears that look like eggs on top of his head, I just made a couple lines, and then what you do is you just erase the lines that you don't need, just like we did before, right? So you make some squiggles or whatever you like to make the hair, right? Because he's got a bunch of hair all over his body. And then erase the parts that aren't the hair, if that makes sense. So again, you can go back through the video as many times as you want and pause it and kind of see what I'm doing if I'm kind of going through here too quickly. Again, just erasing parts of the ear, parts of the shape. So then you can kind of make the shape however you like, because his ears, again, they're not perfect ovals. They're kind of like, they look kind of hairy. They're kind of oblong shapes. They kind of have different shapes to them. So right here, I'm just kind of making it whatever shape I like, something a little bit more accurate to how he looks, because he's not a bunny. Is he? Is he a bunny? I don't even know. What animal is Totoro? You could probably tell me that. But again, just erasing parts of the shape and then just adding in some lines, however you like. Right? Just to make some more depth and some more texture. And again, he's got hair all over his body, so you know you want to give him some hair so he's not a bald creature, whatever he is. I guess I got to do some research on what kind of animal Totoro is. But there you go. So I just kind of, you know, adjusted the ears a little bit. And again, I think this ear should be a little bit pointier. So that's what I did there. So it's kind of already starting to look like Totoro, right? And again, I'm just going to erase these parts where I think there should be some hair and some texture. And to make that is very easy. Basically, just make some squiggly lines, right? And it's very simple. You just erase a couple parts of the shape and then just add in some kind of half triangles and texture. So it looks like he's got some hair on his body, right? And his feet kind of look like bare feet, in my opinion. But super easy. I know you won't have any trouble doing this at all because you're super talented and you're very skilled. And so is Xavier. I saw some drawings that Xavier was doing. Grandma Sue was showing me. And I love your drawing of the avocado that Grandma Sue sent me. And that's what gave me the idea to help you get a little bit more detailed with your drawings, because I think you have some great potential to be a really good graphic designer, actually, because your drawings, in my opinion, look very graphic-y. They look like very digital. So along with your Christmas present there, I obviously included a drawing tablet. So you can do drawings like what I'm doing here on the computer, right? And I would love to see what you can do with it. And that used to be my old drawing tablet. So that was one of the ones I used for many years, and it's really, really good. And if you need any help setting up the software and anything, let your mom, let Christian know that I can help you guys set that up. But I'm sure you won't have any troubles with it. So again, to do the nails here, the claws of Totoro, it's very easy. Obviously, you can see that I'm just erasing parts of the line and then just drawing in the claws. It's super easy, right? Just like some triangles, basically. And so when we draw the tummy part, so obviously it's just got a big circle for a tummy now. But now we're going to add in the, I don't know, let's just call it chest hair for now, right? So I just make a mark under the lip of his mouth and then just kind of, make the hair part of the circle. And again, to make more of the hair, we just erase part of the lines there and, right, just fill it in with some hair shapes, I guess you could call it, but you can call it whatever you want. And that's kind of my technique. If you have different techniques, you can do it your own way. You can teach me a different way if you have any different ways of doing it. And of course, always do it your way when it comes to art. That's what I was taught. It's really, really important to draw in your own style, right? So this is obviously my own style, but if there's an easier way for you to draw, then by all means do it that way, because there is no correct way to draw, right? Everybody can draw whichever way they want, and that's the beauty of art, just like music and just like writing and just like making anything else. So I'm just kind of adjusting the parts that I wanted to adjust here. I didn't like the way that part looked, so I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit higher, right? So now it's kind of starting to look like Totoro. Still kind of looks like a bunny rabbit because I think of the head shape, but we're going to fix that really soon. So right here, I'm just making some very small marks to indicate where the claws and the hands start, right? So they're pretty low down on the body, almost as far down as the feet. So basically I made a mark right at the top of the feet there. And then, right, just draw the arms up to the head. But I realized that his head looks way too fat and his neck is way too fat. And again, just erasing the parts of the lines that we don't need. So since his neck looks way too fat, I'm going to erase that part there and just make it a little bit thinner on both sides. And you'll see right here in a second. So just make it a little bit thinner so he has more of shoulders instead of neck, because got to give Totoro a neck, even though it's hard to see it looks like he goes from belly to mouth to eyes and it looks like there's no neck, but he's a cool looking character. Same thing with the claws on the hands, just erase one part and then just draw on the claws like that. Very simple. And if you're not doing this on the computer, not a big deal. If you're doing this on paper, same thing. Just erase part of the lines. If you're using a pencil, obviously it'd be a lot easier because if you do it with pen, you can't really erase. But if you're using a pencil, that's fine. And again, got to throw some more hair on him because his arms aren't bald, right? So just erase parts of the lines, and you can erase them wherever you want. I'm just erasing them in these areas. If you want to give him more hair, you can. If you want to give him less hair, you can too, right? I'm just trying to make him look exactly, not quite exactly, but I'm trying to make him as close to the original character as I can for you. Like I said, I would draw Calvin and Hobbes and Charlie Brown characters when I was a kid. And, maybe sometimes you can draw your own landscape in there. Or you can maybe put a hat on Totoro if you want. Or you could put boots or gloves or jackets on Totoro. You can make Totoro a girl. I don't even know if Totoro is a boy or a girl because I haven't watched it. But that's something you can tell me later. Whiskers, very easy. I'm sure you won't have any trouble with that. But my technique here is I draw the whiskers, then I erase part of the bottom of it there. So then we can, again, make it look more three-dimensional. So it looks like the whiskers are in front of his body, right? And they look like they're kind of coming off the body and makes it look a bit more 3D, not 2D. Right? So same thing. Again, you can make more whiskers if you like, but I'm sure you're probably pretty accurate and you want to make Totoro as accurate as you can. What other anime characters do you like? Because I can teach you how to draw other ones as well. I particularly like, my favorite anime is Berserk. He's one of my favorite anime characters. Me and Uncle Nick really like that anime. But all right, now we're starting to look like Totoro. Here we go. Let's see, what do we got next? So I'm going to adjust these, let's just call them the armpits for now. His armpits aren't that hairy, so I'm just going to make some smaller lines. And again, you can adjust them whenever you want throughout the process. And I like to go back towards the end of my drawing and make adjustments and, kind of tidy things up and erase certain parts that I don't think were so good and just kind of fix them. And I'll show you how I do that later on in this video. So let's do the triangles on his stomach, right? So for these, I just made some dots for the tip of the triangle just to space it out, just to give myself an idea of where I want them to go. And I just made normal triangles, right, the best I can. And as you can see, the middle triangle is lined up right with the middle tooth. So I think that's just a good place to start for the first triangle, right? And then I just erased the bottoms and made that kind of, shape that the triangles are, because they're not perfect triangles. They got a triangle shape, and then the bottom of it is kind of also like a triangle shape, right? So pretty cool design, whoever designed this character in the first place. But I'm sure you won't have any trouble doing this at all because I'm sure you can draw your basic shapes already. But basic shapes are really important to learn, as you can see here, because you can turn anything into anything with basic shapes. And that was one thing that was taught to me. We even studied stuff like that in college. So you're never too old to draw triangles, I guess you could say. So looking like Totoro here, what are we going to do next? We are going to add some details. So this is where your own style kind of comes into play. Totoro doesn't have these details in the original drawings, but I'm going to make this drawing my own because it's fun. Why not? So I'm going to add the Adam Hurley details. I don't know, let's just call them those for now. But I like to add details in drawings just to kind of make it my own and have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun with art, then you're not doing art correctly. I don't know, something like that. But the point is to have fun with art, right? Whether you're doing it for work or you're doing it for fun or you're doing it for a friend or you're doing it for your niece like I'm doing it right now. I'm having a lot of fun doing this and I hope you're having a lot of fun learning it. So like I said, I'm just adding my own kind of details in here and just kind of cleaning everything up here, all the little tiny mistakes that I made, just so it looks like more of a cool digital drawing, right? Just more professional and just cleaner, right? More attractive, whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of what I'm doing, just making sure everything kind of looks the way I want it to look. And you can take your time. Obviously, I sped this video up, so you wouldn't be watching me add all the details for an hour, because I probably worked on this drawing for at least an hour or two, just to take my time with it. And I'm adding some little dots where the claws are and adding some little bit more hair, give it a little bit more 3D effect, things like that. And this is actually a really fun character. Once I started getting into the details and stuff, I started having a lot of fun with it. And I love just adding these details. Probably the most fun I have when I'm doing any kind of drawing. You get your basic shapes in and then you get to add all the details. And the details really show your own particular style. So these details, you may recognize that it's a Adam Hurley drawing. And I'm sure you have your own special details as well that you add. Picasso had his own details. Leonardo da Vinci had his own type of details. And all artists actually have their own particular unique way of drawing, and they have their own type of details that they do as individuals. And that's one of the beautiful parts of being an artist and doing art, is that it's unique to you. So I encourage you to add your own details. And maybe you'll do it with colors, and that's kind of what we're doing here. It's kind of funny how I said colors right when I did the first color there. But again, it's a lot easier to make the colors when you have a digital program like this. So once you get the tablet set up, I will maybe make another tutorial for you. Just let me know if you have any questions with the tablet that I sent you, and I'll help you get started on that. And then we can send drawings back and forth on the internet, which is really cool. So we can do, like, maybe we can even do some cool like collaboration drawings where you start the drawing and then I'll add something to the drawing and then I'll email it back to you and then you can add something to it. That could be a lot of fun. So let's set that up, Lily, and I'll talk to your mom about that too. But again here, just adding the colors very easily. And obviously if you're not using your tablet, you can color the colors in with markers or crayons or whatever you like to use. But here I'm just using the app on my iPad called Procreate. So if you have an iPad, download the Procreate app. It's only like $11. So you can tell your mom or dad that. And I hope your dad's doing good. I hope Brian is doing well wherever he is, whether he's in Europe or not. I'm sure he's just fine. He's a really smart kid. He's one of the smartest people I know. And I love him very much, just like everybody else does. And I'm sure he'll be safe and home soon. So let's pray for him and hope that he comes home safe and happy and everything else. And I'm sure he will. We'll see him very soon. So just adding the colors in here and just adding the shadows, right? The shadows are fun to make because the shadows really give the drawing depth, right? They really make it look 3D. They really make it look like a real object on a 2D, piece of paper, right? And this is, again, one of my favorite parts of doing any sort of digital artwork is, putting the shadows in, because it just makes it look completely different and completely more, it makes it look pro, And you're already looking pro. Your drawings I've seen already, Lily, your drawings are looking really cool already. So I think you got what it takes to be a really great artist. In fact, I think you are already a really great artist. And I was telling Grandma Sue the other day after I saw your drawings that she sent me, the avocado and everything. I was telling Grandma Sue that, wow, Lily has a lot of true potential already at such a young age. I would love to maybe make some tutorials for her to, help refine her skills and everything. And we can always get better at drawing. Even I'm learning a lot. I learned a lot by just doing this tutorial for you of Totoro. I've never really drawn many anime characters. I love a lot of anime characters. I just never really got into it. So doing this drawing for you has actually helped me out a lot with anime, which is really cool. And I do think that anime characters are a great way to learn how to draw, especially when it comes to drawing people and life-like characters, with feet and hands and ears and eyes and mouths and everything, because people are very difficult to draw. And in college, if you go to school for art in college, later on, you'll still have to learn how to draw people, because people are one of the most difficult things to draw. It's really difficult. So the fact that you're trying to tackle drawings like this at a really young age shows that, one, you have the patience to learn how to draw, which is really important. And you're going to be very advanced when you do get into college, which is great. So I hope you use that to your advantage, because I think you have a lot of potential, Lily. So keep drawing. Anyway, just adding the shadows here. And you don't have to add the shadows exactly how I did them, but I'm just trying, like I said, I'm just trying to copy the image that I found online the best I can. But you can add the shadows however you like, because the shadows show where the light source is coming from. So I'll give you a second to try and guess where the light source is coming from in this drawing. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. So if you guessed that the light source is coming from the right-hand side, then you were correct, because we got the shadows on the left and the light is on the right. So the dark part is on the left and the light part is on the right. So when you're doing any sort of drawing, no matter what it is, whether it's Totoro, or if you're drawing an orange, or if you're drawing your mom or your dog, whatever it is, always try and keep in mind where the light source is coming from, because the light source is really important. So here, if you see, the right side of his body is very lit up, right? So you always want to keep that consistent. Always keep the light on the right side of the body if that's where the light is coming from. But we can do another lesson on that if you'd like, because we can get very in depth. And here I'm just adding a shadow because it looked like he was kind of floating there. So I like to add shadows to things when there are no shadows in the original drawings because it gives it more of a presence. It makes it look more 3D. It makes it look like it has weight. And of course, there was no heart on Totoro, but I'm drawing the heart for you because I love you. And I had a lot of fun doing this for you. And if you want me to do some more, I'd be more than happy to. So Merry Christmas. Love you all very much. Give Xavier and your mom and Brian a big kiss for me for Christmas. And also Grandpa Mike and Grandma Sue, because they'll be seeing you very shortly. Give them a big hug and kiss for me too. So love you all. Talk to you soon. If you have any questions about the video, let me know. And here's a quick time lapse of the entire video that I did that you can check out. So it was a lot of fun. Again, love you guys very much. Talk to you soon, Lily. Bye-bye.